Hey there again, folks. Welcome back to my Let's Play of Ever17, the Out of Infinity. And, just to clarify, just to make sure, since I'm here, now, I wasn't saying that the last one was going to be the last episode. I was saying that when I get to the credits again, that would be the last episode. Though, to be honest, I don't think... You see, I've been back and forth on this for the last few days now. Am I going to go past the credits with Takashi again and try to flesh out all the scenes, or am I not going to do that? I've been back and forth. I'm still on the fence. But I'll figure it out. Yes, I'll figure it out when I get there, I guess. I'm leaning more now towards completing it, but I'll figure it out when I get there. The best plan. Figure it out when I get there. Put that on a marker board or something. That's my plan. I plan on too many things probably, but oh well. Kind of find out how this stuff, rolls out here. Last episode was a big moment, revelation-wise. Yu is actually the daughter of Yu, and the kid and Sarah are actually the daughter and sister. My gosh, I can't talk. It's 1 in the morning, by the way. Is it 1? Yes, it is 1. I couldn't remember. Takashi and Tsugumi are the father and mother of the kid and Sarah. That's actually the easier way to put it. So let's get moving. As her story ended, you reached for a file that was on the control panel. Man, what's wrong? She opened it and silently passed it to me. So the baby was your child? Which means you were lying to me.
嘘じゃないよ。この子は確かに私の娘。でも娘であると同時に双子の妹でもあるの。そして彼女はもう一人の私自身でもあるのよ。
I didn't know what to say.
これが私の犯した罪。決して許されることのない永遠の宿業。だけど前にも言ったように後悔はしてないんだ。あの子を産んでよかったと思ってる。新しい命が芽生えたあの瞬間を私は決して忘れない。それは福音の訪れた瞬間だった。ママってあの子が初めて言った時、私うまく言えないけど、尊さとか愛とか幸福とかそういうのをはるかに超えて、とても大きな光の波に包み込まれたような気がして、私は地獄に落ちてもいい。何千年何万年何億年と地獄の豪華に身を焼かれても構わない。でも絶対にあの子だけはどんなことがあっても守りたいと思った。苦しませたくなかった。あの子の笑顔はとても愛おしくて、小さな手のひらは可愛くて、あの子は私のすべてだから。
This is actually a pretty deep thought, but from her point of view, yeah, whether it's from my point of view, to add to it, the whole, they're the same person, they share the same soul.
かけがえのない存在だから。あの子には罪はないの。この世に存在するありとあらゆる生命と同じように、あの子は祝福されて生まれてきたのよ。
Oh.
時にあの子を産み落とした瞬間、私は死んだの。私はもうこの世界にいないも同然。なぜなら私はあの子に命を、私の存在の全てを捧げたのだから。
You show me the photograph again. The baby in the picture was reaching out, trying to grab something.
はーい、もしもーし、聞こえてるか？
You grabbed my shoulders and shook me.
ねえ、一体どうしちゃったっていうのよ、少年。まさか今年が西暦何年かってことまで忘れちゃってたわけ？
Her words made no impression on me. What on earth? My mouth was dry and the palm of my clenched fist was drenched with sweat. First of all, I began to think things through. The you that I knew, the you standing in front of me, was Yubi Akikana, was born on the 22nd of September 2015. Her mother was Yubisei Harukana. That meant this was now 2034, 17 years after Yubisei Harukana's time in 2017. No, but wait, what about the date on that mail? It had been received on February the 7th of 2019. My voice came out strangled. It's 2034 now? Yuki died 15 years ago, which would have been in 2019. But the date on that says on February the 7th of 2019.
ああ、それ？そんなこと気にしてたんだ。
You laugh.
まあ、勘違いするのも無理はないか。あのね、メールに書いてあった受信日時はドイツ式の表記を使ってるの。だから年、月、日じゃなくって月、日、年の順番で表されるんだ。
Wait, what? So are you telling me that wasn't July 19th, 2002? Oh wow, I was interpreting it right. Oops. It's February 7th, 2019? You nodded.
他にご質問は？
I shook my head weakly and trudged out of the security office. I had figured out the relationship between you and her mother, but wondered whether I should tell her. No, it's probably better that I don't. That's better for you in the long run. But first I had to take care of my own problems. There was somewhere I had to go.
もう何よ。いきなりこんなとこに連れてきてどうするつもり？
I wanted to talk to you guys alone.
話したいこと？
Sugimi was silent. She seemed to be afraid of something. Sugimi perhaps already sensed what I was going to say. Here's what I want to find out. How Takashi and Sugimi are repeating it, or if not repeating it, why they're there and not older, you know. Are they all clones? Her eyes gazed around wildly.
それって重要なことなの？
Yes, very. It's something I don't want the others to hear. Wait, I don't mind if they hear it, but I wanted you and Sugumi to know first. So that's why I asked you to come over here.
で、その重要な話っていうのは？
Hadn't Sarah noticed anything? Her blank, unguarded expression? She had to have noticed something. The May 1st, after Sarah met Sugumi for the first time, she had looked totally dazed. Surely Sarah had sensed something. To be standing there calmly, she had to be in denial. Reason was telling her that what she suspected couldn't be true. The coincidence of meeting her mother again was probably too much for Sarah to believe.
ねえ、なんで黙って
It
るの？
explains why.
早く教えてよ。
It would explain why. Actually, Sugumi not aging would be explained. Now to think about it. Sarah urged me to get to the point. Sugumi said nothing, but her breathing seemed a little rough. Sarah, could you lend me your pendant and lighter for a moment?
いいけど。
She took them out of her pocket and gave them to me. I struck a flame, illuminating the pendant. Takushi. This was the real Takushi Kurinari. I held the pendant and the flame closer to Sugumi. Sugumi kept her head down, refusing to look up at the pendant. Her brow was furrowed and she was biting her lip. Her arms pressed tightly to her sides. Her clenched fists were shaking. "Look closer," I whispered to her. "You've seen this pendant before, haven't you?" "It's Takushi. The real Takushi Kurinari is right here." The moment I said these words, Sugumi's eyes flew open. Stripped of expression, she wore a face like a mask. Only her eyes burned with a fierce light.
ちょっと待って。何よそれ。どういうこと？たけしってあのたけしのこと？そこに映ってるのがたけしなの？
No. The Takushi we know isn't really Takushi. I think he's lying to us.
え？
The real Takushi Kurinari, is your and my father. Sugumi closed her eyes. She breathed out a long sigh. I could see the tension leave Sugumi's body.
ねえ、どういうことなの、お兄ちゃん？
That would explain why she is cold to Takushi and this route, and thought maybe it just wasn't viewed. But yeah, that would explain things.
ちゃんと説明してよ。
Alright. Before I do, I want to check something. I hesitated about what to say next. I looked above my head. The sky was full of stars. The single well twisted and floated through space. Well, where do you go all by yourself? Will you meet someone special one day? I extinguished the lighter. I gripped the pendant and the lighter in my hand. Sugumi's outline was hazy in the dark. She was our long sought after mother. When I called out to her, warm tears ran down my cheeks. "You are our mother, aren't you? Sarah's and my mother. Mother." I think I'll repeat it a lot more. "You are, aren't you?"
え？
Sugumi slowly opened her eyes. She looked at Sarah and me. I could see the tears in her eyes. "Mother, please say something. I don't blame you for anything. I've waited for you for so long. I've been waiting for you. Say something," I screamed at her. Sarah clung to my arm. Shaking her head, she buried her face in my chest. Her thin body was shaking. "Don't just stand there, say something." Holding Sarah tightly, I stepped forward.
違うわ。私は母親なんかじゃない。
"Don't you lie to me. I know everything. 17 years ago, there was another accident just like this one here at LeMU. You and Takushi became a couple." Sugumi was crying huge tears. Sugumi tried to stop him. Her breath was ragged and came out in hiccups. Her face twisted as she struggled to keep control of her emotions. Tears welled in her eyes and rolled down her cheeks.
ええ、そうよ。確かにそう。私はあなたたちを産んだ。でも私にはお母さんなんて呼ばれる資格はないのよ。あなたたちにはもう本当の母親がいるでしょ。優しいお母さんがいるでしょ。私はあなたたちを守れなかった。守れなかったの。捨てたも当然なのよ。置き去りにして見捨てたの。ひどいでしょ。許せないでしょ。だから私は母親なんかじゃないのよ。お母さんなんて呼ばないで。お願い。 お願いだから。
Scummy put her head in her hands and sobbed. At that moment,
ママママ
yep, that proves it right there. Well, obviously, it has already proven that the kid in the mirror was his real self in this version, and I don't know who the crap that other kid was. Oh well. Sarah tore herself away from me and flew into Segumi's arms. Following her lead, I clung to Segumi and cried as well. That means that the dudes in this game have ulterior selves, I guess you could say. Well, who is Tashi now, and who is the kid from before? The first thing I noticed was her familiar smell. I breathed in her scent deeply. Covered in tears, wallowing in the warmth, I felt as if I had regained everything I had ever lost. The three of us held each other tightly, relishing the touch of one another. Entwined, our hearts became one. We were no longer our individual selves, but one collective identity. There were no boundaries between us. My whole being was filled with warmth. Beside me, Sarah's cheeks were wet with tears. Segumi was soft and her skin was sweet and sticky. I recalled the long-forgotten memories of my mother's smell. It wasn't exactly the same feeling as nostalgia. It was primitive, something instinctive. A sweetness that had been wired directly into my brain.
Mama.
Mother. As if in response, Segumi pulled us closer, gripping us with a fierce determination. She buried her face in Sarah's, and my hair drew us close and stroked the back of our heads.
ごめんね。ごめん。ごめんなさい。
Segumi's voice was choked up.
許してなんて言えないけど、私今まで一度もあなたたちのことを忘れたことはなかった。ずっとあなたたちに会いたくて謝りたくて。もういいのママ。もう謝ったりなんかしなくていいの。私はママに会えただけで、それだけで。
As we held on to each other, we understood everything. Sarah and I accepted everything, understood and forgave. Reasons weren't important. At that moment, a quiet peace filled us. It was enough. We didn't require anything else. I relaxed and leaned against my mother. She was warm. I closed my eyes and was intoxicated by her warmth. Mother. A cozy slumber, a soft breeze under the May sunshine. Peace. It was like floating on the calm ocean. Swaying comfortably, cuddled up together. Before I knew it, I had stopped crying. Wait a second. Was that dude from before Takashi? There was a dude up top. Okay, sorry, I just thought of that. All I could hear was just our calm breathing and my mother's heartbeat. Thump thump, thump thump, thump thump. I was alive, or maybe I had just been born. Thump thump, thump thump, thump thump. Everything was affirmed and accepted and forgiven. There was no me, nor Sarah, nor Segumi. There was only one life connected together. Just one single soul. In the year 2017, May 7th, 11 a.m., the men from the Leblique were waiting for Segumi when she got to the floating island. Segumi, a carrier of the Curie virus. To them, she was a valuable sample. Wait, this sounds like they're not going to be... Oh, excuse me. Sounds like they're not going to be, flashing back. Maybe this is it for... I don't know. Their eyes glaring and mouths half open, she could see their dark, wet tongues. It was almost possible for Sugumi to smell the reek of their excitement, like the smell of men lusting after flesh. It was a fetid stench, greasy and rotten. For it was Sugumi's body they were after. What they wanted was nothing more than to perform human experiments under the pretext of making the ultimate human dream come true. By using Sugumi's body, they were planning to gain knowledge, fame, and fortune. That was indeed their desire. "We've been waiting for you," one of them took a deep bow. Behind his veneer of politeness was an evil that threatened to spill forth, making Sugumi sick to her stomach. Some of the others in this entourage licked their lips, swallowing their saliva like dogs gone mad with the hunt. That instant, Sugumi kicked hard off the ground, breaking into a run. She ran across the wide surface of the huge artificial island, desperately scaling the high surrounding fence, and fled into the nearby foliage. Their cacophony of screams and angry cursing faded behind her. Sugumi hid and waited until nightfall. She held a single hamster to her chest. Wait a second. This after Takashi died? So is that really happened? At night, a supply carrying vessel slipped out of the floating island's port. Sugumi had stowed away on the vessel, hiding herself among the cargo. She was headed to the mainland. From that moment on, Sugumi's life was consumed with one thought: how to escape from him. Although she wasn't a criminal, she avoided people, preferring to hide in the darkness, all the while threatened by ominous feelings of being hunted. Nothing changed after she safely made it to land. Every few weeks she moved from a town to a different town, wandering in the darkness. She slept under bridges, under back street eaves, pipes pouring into the oceans, and even in public restrooms. It was an endless cycle of running. She never had a second's peace. She couldn't turn to the police. She had no place to live. Her identity was uncertain, and her age and appearance didn't match. The police would only doubt her. Information regarding Sugumi had spread through the National Police Network. It was only a matter of time before LeBleak would find her. LeBleak's influence even extended to national politics. There was nothing else for Sugumi to do but to continue to hide in back alleys. She hated LeBleak. They had destroyed everything Sugumi had cared about and made her life a living hell. What's more, they had taken away the love of her life, Takashi Kurinari. She wanted to get revenge on LeBleak with every fiber of her being. Sugumi came to hate this world, and her heart became even more hardened to it. 2 months had passed. It was summertime. All of a sudden she began feeling sick. She knew she had stopped menstruating, but she didn't want to think about the possibility. She went to visit an illegal doctor who was well known in the back streets. Sugumi was pregnant. She was sure it was Takashi's baby. She'd never been with anyone else. She was pregnant. At night she went to the deserted coastal area of a small nearby town. There were nothing but printing factories and abandoned houses. Unsure if it was a river or the ocean, she sat on a boat dock, looking at a neon sign by the highway. She touched her stomach. She felt a sense of awe and joy at the fact there was life growing in her stomach that was connected to her. I'm guessing the kid knew about Takashi being the dad because of the flashback. Just got a pretty strange thought. He was viewing the flashback. I wonder if he was able to turn away at moments when he needed to turn away. Otherwise, that'd be really disturbing to see. That'd be a very disturbing moment to witness. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it at that. Just a strange thought. Strange thought indeed. Yeah. The neon light glittered and flickered off the water surface. Sugumi looked at the lights with her hands on her stomach. Realizing that Takshi's babies were inside her, she couldn't stop crying. They might have only been an inch big at that time, but the survival of the two babies outstripped the needs of the mother's body that surrounded them. Sugumi almost had the illusion that it wasn't her who bore the children, but it was actually they who bore her. Everything that she was, she poured into her two babies. She felt that she was part of the babies, not the other way around. It was then that Sugumi decided to sacrifice everything for the two tiny lives. Love was a concept to her, but if love could be brought into physical form, to her, it seemed it must be the babies in her stomach. That was it. Love was growing in her stomach. Takshi and Sugumi's babies. Before long, the hatred she had felt towards everything had disappeared without a trace. For the first time, Sugumi felt as though there were a higher power guiding her life. 7 months later, January 21st, 2018, Sugumi was suddenly struck with contractions. When they came, the back alley doctor had gone somewhere. Just say that'd be almost perfect timing. Since, what is today? The 8th, I think, right? Let me just... Oh crap. That was a disaster. It's the 8th, I'm pretty sure. It's the 8th. Oh. Actually, let's look at my phone. That would be much easier. Yes, it is indeed the 8th. See, I came up with a solution just after the much more inconvenient and stupid solution. She visited a nearby clinic. She had no medical insurance, no identification. Most importantly, she had no money. When he found out that she couldn't pay, the doctor beat Sugumi as though she were a stray animal. What? Really? For having no money? Okay. With nowhere else to go, the two babies were born in an old boat shack. An old woman was living there, but Sugumi could not tell her whether she lived there or just sleeping there temporarily. It was this old woman who helped Sugumi through the birth. Ooh, how precious, so precious. You've done a fine job, dearie. The old lady repeated this many times as she gently rinsed the babies in a tin basin. The sweat-covered Sugumi was lying down with only a thin towel between her and the hardwood floor. Sugumi's eyes gazed unfocused on a nearby window. Snow was falling outside. How, darling? Yes, a precious boy child and a girl. Which one will you hold first? The illegal doctor had told her, so she was expecting twins, but she never imagined they would be fraternal. A bit surprised, she said. Both at the same time. Wrapped in an old cloth, Sugumi gently held them to her chest. Not to worry, my dearie. I boiled them cloth and the scissors. What, cut their cord in hot water? I did. Oh, okay. She's got an accent. I was wondering what was going on. Thank you. Sugumi thanked her. Thank you very much. She Elvis? What? She gave thanks for the two lives who had been born safely. Thank you. These last words were directed towards the deep darkness beyond the window. At Takushi, I guess. The snow was falling. The two babies pressed to Sugumi's chest with eyes closed, let out small yawns. The Curie virus. Man, that's a lot of reading. Soon after she had given birth, Sugumi's thoughts returned to the possibility. They got infected by Curie while they were inside of me. And if their DNA was altered just like me, Sugumi visited the legal doctor. Don't worry about it, he explained, laughing. According to taxonomic classification, a pure human would belong to primates. Anthropoidea, Hominidae, Homo genus sapiens. And this legal doctor knows his crap, man. Sugumi, whose DNA information was altered by the Curie virus, was not a pure human anymore, but rather a subspecies of it. Let's just call you subspecies Curie for now. Now, any kids who are born from Takshi, the Homo sapiens, and Sugimi, the Curie, would technically be hybrids. Now, by the way, I guess I should tell you that the Curie virus only affects pure humans, the Homo sapiens. But there's no way the Curie virus possibly affect your two little hybrids there. While not much is known about the Curie virus, some of the unique functions scientists have discovered, such as regenerating telomeres and regenerative healing, are inherited recessively. Man, it's a lot of reading. For blood types, without exception, all children born from a type AA father and a type OO mother, for instance, can only be type AO with a type A predisposition. Why? Because type A factors are inherited dominantly and type O factors are inherited recessively. Man, I can't. This science stuff. In order for a child's blood type to be type O, you'd have to have a mixture of either AO. I guess I'll read this. I'd feel like I'd be leaving it incomplete if I didn't read this. It have to be a mixture of either AO by AO, AO by BO, AO by OO, BO by BO, BO by OO, or OO by OO. Sounds like that could be some sort of crazy, wacky kid song there. But it can only be one of the above, meaning that both the parents gotta add that type O factor to the genetic milkshake. Same goes for the Curie virus. Any child born from a pure-blooded sapiens and Curie will all be super. Oh my gosh! Did I almost say super set? I almost said Super Saiyan. That's funny. Or Super Sapien, which is just as bad. Hey, well, that just got them out of the kids fixing to go Super Saiyan. They're all going to get out of LeMU, and he's going to defeat all of LeBlanc. All be sapiens Curie and inherit the dominant physical traits of both. For them Rugrats to become full-blooded Curie, the parents would have to be Curie by Curie, Sapiens Curie by Curie, or Sapiens Curie by Sapiens Curie. Any of those combinations meaning that both parents have to be part or all Curie. Since these two little critters were born from a pure sapiens and pure Curie, they'll have the same physical traits as a pure human and won't possess the Curie traits like perpetual youth. So you don't have nothing to worry about, alright? The doctor held up the two babies. Sigi abroad and laughed again. Sigi didn't know his background. It's probable that he had been part of LeBlanc's laboratory staff in the past since he knew so much about the Curie virus. I was fixing to say, is that public knowledge in this world? I haven't figured that out. I was wondering about that. Seems like that's something that would be, I don't know, I mean, I guess it could be public knowledge that people can be immortal. Now, I wouldn't think that would be that public knowledge if they try to keep that under the rug. But he didn't seem to be one of them. Sigi figured she could trust him. Among outcasts, there is an unspoken law. You don't go nosing around in other people's pasts. Sigi didn't ask him anything more, and he didn't demand to know about her either. A year after giving birth, it was winter again. Sigi had rented a tiny room and lived together with the two babies. Of course, Chammy was there as well. It was a quiet, rustic little coastal town. It wasn't a city or tourist town, no fishing or farming, nothing, just a dreary port town. I think I'm going to call it here. I'm actually going to keep playing this, but it's been about 35 minutes. I do need to take about 5 minutes, let my throat get a little bit. I kind of had a coughing spell earlier, so I hope I'm not getting down with anything. Yes, I hope I'm not getting down. Is that a proper sick phrase or something? But yeah, I think I'm going to do another one after this. It won't be uploaded today. It is now officially another day now. So, but it'll be out tomorrow. So, yeah. Hope you folks enjoyed. I think we are getting near to the next credits. If I go past that, I'll decide when I get there. But this is stuff I was looking for before. This game is really, I have to say, this game's strengths are doing things in ogre ways, as Shrek would put it. You know, in layers, they pull away the layers, so you know a lot. You know, there's still a lot that we don't. You know, there's a lot that I don't know about it. So, yeah, there's still layers to be uncovered, but it's one of the things I like about this game. It just builds a mountain of questions, and then now the mountain's getting smaller. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Say yeah more. Hope you folks enjoyed, and I shall see you in the next one. Farewell there.